What up, YouTube? We're back. I know it seems like I take a long break and then get back and make videos, but hey, we're back. Football is back. Just like the last couple years, we've done our NFL predictions video right before the season starts. As you guys are watching this tonight is the kickoff, Cowboys-Eagles. As you all know, Eagles won the Super Bowl last year, which part of the country won the three-peat, part of the country won the Eagles to win. It was not a good game. Once I was watching it, working, and just watching it, and I knew from the first touchdown, I'm like, this doesn't seem right, and it clearly wasn't. It looked a lot better, the score-wise, like not too bad, but it was bad. So, it is what it is. You know, truly an amazing offense the Eagles had all year, so they had a great run. So before we dive into this year's predictions, we're going to take a look back at last year. So as I said, we go over their previous record, their outcome, what we predict, and I give you a bet. Again, not gambling advice. Gamble responsibly if you do. So we went 18-14. So we went over 500 in picking correct. Some of them, looked pretty good. I had Seahawks missing the playoffs, which they just barely did. The Saints under 8.5 wins. I feel like that was a pretty good one. Raiders missed the playoffs. Lions win the division. Packers had over 9 wins. I put the Browns and missed the playoffs. I don't know why, but I'll have to look back at that. Nothing else. I had the Falcons missing the playoffs. They kind of fell off. So, I feel like pretty good. Some bad ones. Definitely, I did have the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Again, we already knew they were going for 3, so worst record, New York Giants at 1-16. That did not turn out. As we all know, the Titans ended up with the worst record at Tennessee. Where are you? Hold on. I gotta go this year. I'm looking at the wrong one. 3-14. So Giants did end up 3-14, but however it turned out. Apologize, my throat is a little dry. Coming off my allergies. I can't remember. I know they beat the Seahawks and they beat the Colts. I can't remember who else they beat. And that was just ridiculous as it is. But a new season is upon us. So I have it all from A to W, on teams here. So we'll go one by one. We'll see how things are. That seems fair. We'll go from there. Okay. So we'll start at the top here with our 2025 NFL predictions. Cardinals were 8-9. They missed the playoffs. I have them going 4-12 under 6.5 wins. So a little room. Falcons 8-9, missed playoffs. I have them going 6-11. I have them under 6.5 wins. So very scarce line. Ravens 12-5. They lost in the division round. I have them going 11-6. So a little drop. Over 9.5 wins, I think, would be fair for them. Bills 13-4. Lost in the conference champion. I have them at 15-2. So you're going to give the Chiefs a run for their money, as we all will see shortly. Over 11.5 wins shall be fine. Panthers 5-12, missed the playoffs. Ignore this and what I'm about to say. As we all know, I'm a Carolina Panther fan. And I've said it for years. I feel it this year. 13-4, over 9.5 wins. Hold me accountable this year. I do feel second half, Bryce Young, after being benched and coming in when Andy Dalton got hurt, changed him. For the last few weeks, he was one of the better quarterbacks in the league. And if they just had more time, I think they could have made the playoffs last year, even with a losing record. Bears are 5-12. I still have them at 5-12. Under 6.5 wins, they missed the playoffs last year. Bengals 9-8, missed the playoffs. As we all know, it all went back to week 1. If they beat the Patriots week 1, they would have been in the playoffs. This year, nothing to worry about. 14-3 over 10.5 wins. Cleveland Browns. Now, this is going to shock. I have 2 winless teams in my predictions. The Cleveland Browns are one of them. Now, you may say, how do you have them go winless? I ran through the season, and I looked, I analyzed, I really did. I don't see a win for the Browns. I don't. Their division's too tough. You know, they may say, oh, you'll split with the Steelers. I don't know. I just feel like their division's too tough, so they're 6, and they're just going to get unlucky. I just don't feel like Joe Flacco's the answer. I don't feel like Dylan, or their backup, I think Dylan, I can't remember his last name, or, you know, I don't feel like the answer. Maybe, I think they're going to prove me wrong. Like, I feel like this will be wrong, because I think Shador will come in, and he will maybe get them a couple wins, but I do feel like this is wrong. But for right now, I feel like they can go winless. Dallas Cowboys, as we all know, they just made that huge trade of trading away one of the best defensive players in the league. They were 7-10, missed the playoffs. Cowboy fans, it's a downfall. 4-13, you all missed the playoffs. Don't worry, I don't think. Y'all should still be better than the New York Giants. Broncos 10-7. They lost the wild card. They're going to stay 10-7. They're in just as tough a division as the Browns are. Over at a half wins. I do see them. I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but they should be good. Lions 15-2. Lost in division round. They stay 15-2. Over 11.5 wins. Packers 11-6. Lost wild card. I have them going 13-4 over 9.5 wins. Texans 10-7. Lost divisional round. I'm going 11-6 and winning the division. Do I think the Jags will be better? Yes. Actually, no. No. They have just as tough as the schedule. No. I think they just got handed a bad deal of the schedule. Colts 8-9, missed the playoffs. Daniel Jones is not the answer, people. I'm telling you that now. 4-12, under 6.5 wins. Jacksonville 4-13, missed the playoffs. They're going to go 3-14. Under 5.5 wins is my prediction. Chiefs 15-2, lost the Super Bowl. I still have them at 15-2. Give me over 11.5 wins. So they're going to be even with the Bills. I do think I have the Bills beating them in that week 9 game. Don't hold me accountable on that one. Raiders 4-13, missed playoffs. I still have them 4-13. I don't think Geno does the job, and they're going to be under 5.5 wins. Chargers 11-6, lost the wild card. I have them 13-4 over 9.5 wins. I do see improvement on this team. Rams 10-7, lost the division round. I have them going 8-9. Now again, I don't know how Stafford is. I base this off, I think the first couple that Stafford was not going to be 100%, and him not being 100%, and not knowing how Jimmy G will do. So I have them missing the playoffs. Dolphins 8-9, missed playoffs. I have them 4-13. This could be the end of Tua. One hit and they're done. Under 7.5 wins. Vikings 4-13. They lost in the wild card. There is change here, especially at the position of quarterback. You have your second year, quote unquote, rookie quarterback coming in. I have them regressing, going 7-10, under 8.5 wins. They're probably not making the playoffs. Patriots 4-13, missed the playoffs. I have them going 6-11. Again, a little improvement. They're getting there. I hope they prove. I feel like those are the one teams like you hope they prove you wrong. There's a chance they could be better and make the playoffs. Over 5.5 wins. Saints, this is my second winless team. I don't see a win on this team. 5-12, missed the playoffs. Like, with Derek Carr retiring, they don't have a quarterback. They decided to take an offensive lineman. Now, again, they didn't know Carr was going to retire at that point, but they took an offensive lineman to protect who? There was no one protecting because they didn't have a quarterback. Shadur Sanders would have been perfect for the Saints. Maybe I would give them a couple wins. But right now I have them winless. So 2 winless teams, they don't play each other. So this is very realistic. Giants, they're not doing anywhere better. If I could give a third winless team, I would. They were 3-14, missed the playoffs. I have them 1-16. That one is against the Saints. I don't see them beating many of these teams. Again, your division is stacked. People say regression from Washington. I don't. I do have, and you're like, well, what about the Cowboys? The Cowboys are going to be bad. I think the Cowboys are still better than the Giants. Again, last year I got proven wrong. I had them 2-15. I didn't really see them winning football games, and they shouldn't have. And somehow they found a way to win 3. Should they be winning more football games than 1? Yes. We'll see how they go. I have them under 4.5 wins. I still don't see it. I don't think Russell Wilson's the answer. Jackson Dart probably is going to get thrown there. Someone's getting fired this year. If not, I don't know. Jets 5-12, missed the playoffs. I have them at 9-8. They have a winning football record. One problem: they don't make the playoffs. Eagles 14-13. They won the Super Bowl. Congratulations. You're 14-13 again, over 10.5 wins. Steelers 10-7. They lost to Walker. They will be 10-7 again in Aaron Rodgers' final season. They'll be over 500, but miss the playoffs. Shows how well this could turn out to be. Again, this is all stimulated. So if you're like, well, you'll figure it out. You write it down on a piece of paper and figure it out yourself. 49ers 6-11, missed the playoffs. A lot of injuries. A lot. I see they're going to have a very easy schedule, and as long as everyone stays healthy, Brock Purdy proves that he's the quarterback. 14-13, over 9.5 wins. Seahawks 10-7, missed the playoffs, barely. I have them going 12-5, over 9.5 wins is my bet. Now again, this is banking on Sam Darnold to continue his dominancy after last year. But again, you lost a top 3 wide receiver. So, we'll see. Buccaneers, 10-7 last year, lost to wildcard. They will go 11-6. I give them over 9.5 wins, but they missed the playoffs. So by me saying this, and the Saints being winless, and the Falcons being bad, I am trying to hope that the Panthers win the division. I didn't put it because I don't know. Again, I could be wrong. These are just predictions. Titans 3-14. They missed the playoffs. They're not going to get any better, but they will not have the first overall pick. As I said, it's going to be quite interesting. Like, even the Giants won't have the first overall pick because how bad some teams are going to be. I have them 2-15, under 4.5 wins. And the Commanders 12-5, lost the conference championship last year, 13-4, over 9.5 wins. So it's going to be interesting because you have 4 teams with 2 wins or less in here. And if you want to include Jacksonville, that's 5 teams under 3 wins. And if so it's going to get real bunched up at, come the end of the year of someone's trying to win a football game. It's like, not win. People are going to lose football games. And you're praying someone else, wins football games. It will be an interesting down the stretch. So, now again, I think the Eagles play the Giants week 18. If they got everything locked up, they're not going to play one. But I still think by that point, you're trying to lose to get the highest pick possible. You have your quarterback, maybe another weapon or an offensive piece that you can build around that, and you give protection to Jackson Dart for next year. Things look better. But that's how I see the 2025 season breaking out. Now, I don't have a winner. I can't tell you who I think is going to win, but a little birdie, and I've seen it multiple times. A team that has played another team at the start of the season the previous season, Ohio State's won national championship. You know, the Super Bowl's in San Francisco. You know, all these like stars line up in the magical of the night to tell me the Carolina Panthers are going to the Super Bowl. Not say win. I would love for them to win, but I want them in the Super Bowl. There's a chance. The colors in the logo match up. They're playing the Jags again. Every time they play the Jags, week 1, they've gone to the Super Bowl. And those Super Bowls both have been in San Francisco. One against Peyton Manning, one against Tom Brady. They're both going to be broadcasting the game that next year for the Super Bowl. Ohio State won the previous. They had a bad record, losing record the previous year, a new time head coach. Everything is lining up for Carolina to go to the Super Bowl. I know they traded Adam Thielen, but they had a nice, if they kept him, which I don't think was going to happen, they kept him, it would have been a nice core of, you get the veteran guy who's reliable, the young guys with speed, with X and McMillan and Thielen. Now it's X, McMillan, Renfro, Cooker's out. They got a young core. Bryce Young looks comfortable. I see this team winning this year and not having losing records. So it will be interesting. I can't tell you on the other side, a lot of people see the Bills. Listen, Carolina Bills, it'd be quite interesting. But we'll see what happens come next winter and where we're looking at down there. So those are my predictions. We'll see how they turn out next year when we do this again. There'll be a point, I say this, like, I feel like it's gonna be 1 year, like, I forget about it. I'm like, then it's the end type of thing. But I think we're still there. So, but yeah. So, if you guys like my predictions, comment down below. If you disagree, comment down below. Well, listen, we'll go at it. Like, I went at it with one guy last year, and to be honest, he kind of, if he watches this, don't listen to him. You're gonna listen to me because I'm right, yeah. Like, I think I said the Giant, we bet money, and then he wanted to, I was like, let's double or nothing. Like, this is gonna be fine, right? Because it was the Giants Panthers game overseas. I'm like, he was talking, so I'm like, we'll double it. Like come on. So, like, if Panthers win, I owe you nothing. If the Giants win, I'll double my money. Panthers won, so I owe him nothing. He said he didn't agree upon it. I'm like, dude, you can't back out. Like, come on. You're not going to sit here and talk trash about my team that just beat the Giants. Like, no, we're not going to do that. So, yeah, comment below what you think. Remember, the Stinger is back for another year. It shall be interesting. As I said, I looked at week 1, and I feel confident in week 1. But I'm also going to do nothing. Either every Wednesday night or Thursday morning, I will upload a TikTok, which is the same as just about everything Trapezoid, giving my predictions for the week. If you send me your predictions before the kickoff of Thursday night, you can't send me after it, kickoff, or you just missed that game. No. Once that happens, if you can beat me in all 250 plus games this year, I don't remember the number, we get every game right, or prediction wise, again, you're not going to get every game right, but if you have a better record than me by the end of the year, we will talk. We will see how that goes. So remember, like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. I'll catch you all on the next one.